Hello, everybody! We are back from break with more Dungeon the Mad Mage. When we left our heroes, they had been, having a day. Day two. I think day two of Alturiac.
Correct.
Yeah. We saw some just some like shopping. We saw some kind of like working on skills. And then we saw a relatively tense negotiating period between Bones and some members of Brigand the Earth, as Bones tried to turn Drow against Drow and
Low stakes.
didn't fail, but also didn't super succeed. And now,
It didn't fail.
exactly. So we didn't get chased out of the Seven Masks Theater while people were trying to kill him. So, that's a success on its own, right?
Honestly.
didn't have to had a lot of bits. Okay. We are still on Alturiac II. We are gonna go around the room. Let's start with who has like quick tasks that they want to do.
What,
like just regular workday shit. Ezra?
For day two?
For day two. Yeah, same day. You're wanting to go back to the Temple of the Moon, so you hold the fucking horses. Ezra, you are...
Hold your fucking horses.
Yeah, hold your fucking horses.
Yeah, take your horses and hold them.
Ezra, you're doing tome stuff?
We'll continue on the history train.
History! History is the fun one because history is... Never mind. I won't say that. I'll lay that.
His story.
You've already alluded to some of the mechanic behind it, so...
Well,
24.
24! Okay, 24 is... Urki. That means...
Arcturia Doom?
What do you know about Arcturia Doom, Ezra?
Oh, that... I know that it is the 14th level of Undermountain. It is also where we are expecting to find Death's Head mercenaries, which is the Hobgoblin force.
Okay.
And that is where I have noted a quest called Man Juice is located.
Oh no, not that.
Yes.
Oh
Man
god.
juice.
Man juice.
And that is the quest from Preta Creepa, where a particular man is being used as a material component. And if we free said man, we will reduce Arcturia's effects. Juices, yeah.
Wonderful.
Those are my
Absolutely.
note for the 14th level.
Absolutely wonderful. As you are going through the tome, you find bits and pieces here or there. You find a passage detailing Arcturia Doom, or a passage discussing Arcturia Doom, and it seems to be written right from the kind of like point of view of a scholar discussing the design features of what is referred to as a weapon of mass disintegration.
Nope, we're not going there. Nope. I have a curse.
It's
I
funny.
have zero.
It's so funny because like the last two times we've been playing, it's been getting brought up. And then you fucking roll this. But yeah, you find a passage where some unknown author, right, seems to be discussing the design schematics of a thing in Arcturia Doom referred to as the weapon of mass disintegration. And to your understanding, as you're reading through this passage, you read details of the safety mechanisms installed to prevent its abuse, of the 6 different mithril keys that are required to activate the weapon. But you do come to the conclusion that if all of this is being detailed correct, and what you're reading right now is not just incorrect or ludicrous or, a lie, there is something known as the weapon of mass disintegration in Arcturia Doom that, in theory, when activated, will disintegrate the entire level.
Oh.
Does it, in its description, sound like it's a chair?
Oh no! Oh fuck no! No!
Let me read.
I feel like only one other person got that joke in this group, and that disappoints me.
I got it. I just,
I mean,
no. It does not seem to be chair oriented. It is designed as a dome with, I believe, 7 alcoves inside of it. From what you can tell, and this is due to your 24 on the history check, the weapon itself is designed to disintegrate the level, but not hit people inside the dome itself.
So there's like the device, a dome,
Safety
and
dome.
then the destruction outside the dome.
In theory, yes.
Okay. Like a little safe eye of the storm.
Yep.
Type situation, yeah.
I would say good, but terrifying? I feel like you're trying to...
You picked to roll the history check. You rolled a 24. You got Arcturia Doom. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, because the DM can't just choose, oh, hey, this is the funny thing.
I have a list of things. What are you talking about? Like,
Let's see that list, Jeremy. Let's see that list.
I can't show you the list because then you'll see other things on it.
Exactly.
Not happening. But yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
I'm slightly disturbed, but more insightful.
Have fun. Do with that knowledge what you will, if you even can. Okay. Anyways, who's up next that has what they would believe to be reasonably quick things? Or if nobody has any quick things left, we can move on to other bigger things.
I really don't have a whole lot.
That's fine.
Like, there's
It's a
pot
downtime
training,
day. You guys don't have to have big things to do. Yeah. I know Matashtai does, because Matashtai is trying to, now do
save
some
my girl.
research and figure out how to save his girl, right? Exactly. But so okay. I think it sounds like then Bones will probably do a work day. My assumption. We'll touch base when he gets back. Ashes. Let's jump over to you. Temple of the Moon. So later that evening, the plan is to head to the Temple of the Moon and touch base with Amnestria.
Yep.
Because you went to her specifically and asked, "Hey, can you put me to work that's more in line with the work that I do?" And she said that she would find something for you. any special preparations or anything like that as you head over there?
No. I guess not.
Sounds good.
Mage armor.
I mean, okay.
You're wearing armor, so it has no effect.
It does nothing.
But I can still cast. No, if I had it, I could.
You could try. Okay, you head on over and you meet up with Amnestria, and you are pretty shortly put into a small group of other Wardens of the Moon. Not all of which are blood hunters, actually. Which does actually strike you as relatively strange, because all of the people that you have spent time with that are Wardens of the Moon were not necessarily blood hunters, but were lycanthropes, right?
Gotcha.
Not all of these individuals are lycanthropes. There are some individuals in the small group that you've been put into that are actually just people. So
Lycanthropes are people too.
well, questionable.
You're being cursed, Jeremy.
I am absolutely being cursed, 100%. I want you to roll me a series of die rolls.
You got it.
You are going to roll me in sequential order. Don't roll anything until I tell you to, but you are going to roll me a d4, a d6, and then a d8. Okay?
Okay.
Your d4, right, is... I say that, my bad. Reverse. You're going to roll me a d8, a d6, and then a d4. Okay?
Okay.
These are going to be checks that are kind of luck rolls, but are also going to be influence rolls to see kind of like where things are aimed. On the D8, you want to... I'm actually gonna let you pick, right? You can choose. This is kind of like gambling. Where are you putting your money on, right? Like, you can...
Like a roulette table.
Exactly, right? Like, you can pick evens or odds, or you can pick, you know, first half, second half, right? Like, or you can try to pick a specific number, right? If you fail, you fail, right? On any of the three choices, you fail, right? If you don't get the right thing, you fail. If you succeed on a choice and it's evens or odds or first half, last half, right? It's just a success. If you pick the right number, right? Actually, let's reverse this again. Reverse. We're going to do D4, D6, D8. So it's going to be easier to start with and harder to end with on the picking, right? So you have a 1 in 4 chance of being correct if you pick on the D4, right? So if you get what you pick, it will be a critical success, right? Okay. So you have the D4, you pick what you want to roll it. Let's see what you get, right? D6, same scenario, pick what you want to roll it, we'll see what you get. Same thing with the D8. So it is successively harder to get the critical success, right? But still a 50-50 across the board every single time to see if you get a success. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready, kids?
I'm ready.
D4, what are you picking?
I am 2 is the number I pick for the D4.
So you're actually gonna hard pick a number.
I'm gonna pick a. No.
Okay. Roll me that D4. Oh! Oh! Okay. All right.
Well done.
Now, okay, I'm going to tell you this. right? The critical success for the D4 it means good things, right?
Okay. Yep.
Critical success for a D6 and a D or the D8 mean exponentially better things. Okay? But if you get failures, that's going to diminish the overall success across the board. I don't know why, I've kind of designed this on the fly, and I do not know why I've done this to Jay, because Jay is the antithesis of gambling.
Yeah, it's not good. That's the reason why I don't allow myself to do so.
But you got
you're going to
a
Vegas.
good thing.
Yeah. That's the problem. Okay, for the D6.
Evens or odds? First half, last half? Or are you going to pick a number?
I'm picking.
Say what?
Picking a number. It's gonna be
4.
Oh shit.
Oh! I was so like, if you hit that, I was gonna shout. Like I was probably gonna make Casey mad at me. Style shout. Would have been a craze. So okay, what are you doing for 8?
8. I am going to do evens.
Evens on D8. Roll me a D8. Even. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Success. Okay, so you got a critical success, a failure, and a success. Still overall good. Ashes. You head to the House of the Moon. Amnestria puts you into contact with a small group of wardens and gives you an assignment. And it's a dangerous assignment. It is not an insubstantial thing. And you go out with this small group of wardens to take care of this nondescript task for Amnestria. And there are initially things start out great, and then there's I want to say like a death in the second act, type scenario. But there's a failure, right? Like there's something goes wrong, something goes horribly wrong, right? But it does end with a overall success. So we're not going to discuss what actually happens at this current point in time.
Okay. All right.
Because that might come out at a later date for a different reason. And
it has been noted.
We'll see about that. But at the end of the day, at the end of the night, or not end of the night, but close to the end of the night, you and this group of wardens reconvene back at the House of the Moon, successful in the task that has been presented to you, but with some caveats, right? And that is going to matter at the end of the day. But like I said, we're not gonna delve too much into what it is, because maybe Jeremy writes a side quest for everyone to play as Wardens of the Moon on this little mini adventure that happens on Altharic the Second. So we'll see.
Yeah, dibs on shark lichen.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That'd be fucking sweet.
That'd be pretty cool.
What is it? The shark demon from Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
Just turn into the top head as a shark.
Actually, just watched that like the first quarter of this year, or was it? Yeah.
That would be about when it came out.
Jordan
Okay.
read it, and I had to actively not read it.
The other thing that is going to happen in regards to that, Ashes, is that your renown is going to increase Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I'm loving it.
The fuck?
Sorry.
That wasn't even the correct ditty.
It wasn't, but it's still
Close enough?
It's involuntary, Jeremy. I can't help it.
It's fine to be involuntary. Just be involuntarily correct.
It's all right, I guess.
Did you hear that the maker of McDonald's ice cream machines copyrighted their error codes
Copyrighted.
as a way to keep people from working on them?
Oh, that's
other
fucked
than
up.
them? Also, 25% of that company's business is repairing the machine. 25% of their revenue.
Only 25%? I'm actually somewhat surprised by that. Like, what the fuck is the other 75%? Selling new machines?
I have no idea. I just find it extremely scummy.
Oh yeah.
Wait, 25% of McDonald's revenue is repairing the machines?
No, there's a company
how's that
called
work?
Taylor or something or other who actually like sells them the machines. They have a contract. They're the only ones allowed to sell those machines. All the franchisees have to buy these specific machines from Taylor, whatever the fuck, Taylor Industries or some shit.
For how long?
In perpetuity. I don't know when. Like I don't know when they.
That is a bad contract.
I don't know when they when or if they'll renegotiate. I assume there's some sort of ridiculous.
Whoever negotiated that does not deserve their job.
It's not in perpetuity. I just don't know what the term is. Besides the fact that they probably will not ever do it. But that company also copyrighted their error codes in an effort to keep other people from ever working on their machines. And they charge a dummy amount to work on them, and they constantly break.
All right.
Wow.
Your success on the Warden of the Moon adventure is going to give you +2 renown. And I wanted to validate your renown with you.
I have it as 9.5 currently. I don't know if that is.
It should be at 15.
Damn, 15.
God damn! All right.
A little higher than we had previously.
Okay.
So
I have marked it as 15.
very well, very good. It has been updated on the sheet. 15. Wonderful. Okay. That is going to be that. Bones, we kind of skipped over you because you had to step out. I assume you want to do a bone crafting day?
Yeah, I can't. There was something I was gonna do, but I sure don't remember what it was at this point. So yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Well, if you remember, we can retcon. Otherwise, we'll just count you've done a bone crafting day on your next project. Okay.
Okay.
And then that brings us to Matashtai. Matashtai, what are you doing? What is your plan to stand? Are you going alone? Are you taking the party with you? Right? Like, what's your plan?
Okay, well, first I will pull the group. Are you guys prepared to do things if, like, we can go?
Yeah.
Or do you need more time?
You're talking about go into the dream realm? Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, like, we want to go as a group and, like, group nap? And...
Yeah, absolutely.
Matashtai, are you ready to do that?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
Okay. Well, so are you as ready as you're gonna be? Is your resurrection sickness gone?
No.
No, but does resurrection sickness transfer into dreams?
I don't know.
Yes, the answer is yes, it does.
Absolutely. 100%.
In fact, there's a
I will answer your question with a question. Does resurrection sickness only affect your physical capabilities?
I would think so, yes.
But we already know it doesn't because it gives you minuses to all of your checks. Physical or not.
Sure. To my physical body.
Oh, okay. So it gives you minuses to your intelligence checks, but that's only to your physical brain, not your dream brain.
I have a completely different dream brain,
bro.
Okay.
Is that an alien feature that you have two brains?
I'm just saying, dream brain is safe from exhaustion. Dream brain doesn't get tired.
That maybe it works that way. I don't know.
Well, I don't like the way you were talking, so I'd like to nap for 2 more days.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to still go investigate, or are you gonna wait to investigate
Yeah,
until
I'll go check out the temple or the
what if
is
they
it a
have to do
temple,
2
or is
days
it
of
just like a
prep?
complex?
It's a compound actually with out trailers.
God damn it. Okay, so in your this might be different, right? Like you might be more willing to go investigate solo than you would be to go on an adventure solo. So do you want to go investigate solo, or are you gonna try to bring the group with you to the
I
Pantheon?
will offer the group to join me if they wish to, but they are not obligated.
True.
I mean, I don't know. Do you feel like you need me?
I am fine alone, but if you wish to attend and find out more information, you are invited.
I think I'm good, unless you need me.
Okay, no one else said anything? I leave.
I got a
I
business
mean,
trip.
is
He
this separate
leaves.
from like? Am I gone at this time to the moon shit?
This would be in the afternoon, so you're not gone, but you're probably asleep.
Okay.
You could wake up though and just be.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, no. That I do make day sleeping a thing.
I mean, if you want company, I'm happy to oblige. I don't know how much help I'm going to be, but I'm happy to be there and support you.
Entirely up to you guys. If you have plans, do your thing. Otherwise, I'm off.
Do you want support or not?
He doesn't want to say he
I'm a
wants
strong,
support.
independent man. I don't need no
I'm a
person.
strong, independent man.
Do you want support, yes or no?
Matt walks out the door.
He walks away.
I take that as a no.
All right, Matt, you make your way across the city of Waterdeep to the Temple
way
of the
across.
Saladrin. This temple is most easily accessed off the Warrior's Way, which is a major thoroughfare down Castle Ward. It's honestly almost as big, almost as wide as the High Road is, which is pretty strange. There aren't very many roads that are that big. But Warrior's Way is from a time period prior to Waterdeep being as big a city as it is. Warrior's Way used to be one of the main thoroughfares through the city back when the city was still mostly based around Mount Waterdeep, at the foot of Mount Waterdeep, rather than where it has spread out on this whole kind of like plateau instead, right? As you make your way past the Great Market and down Warrior's Way, you can see the Hawkman kind of like in the distance, which is this immense statue that kind of like rises up above the castle ward. Kind of like, I think it's looking, I could be wrong, let me double check, but I think it's looking at Castle Waterdeep. And you know these famous statues of Waterdeep to be these kind of like entities that had one, they're just massive statues, but two, they had been kind of like brought to life in defense of the city multiple times over the years, right? And then as you get closer, you can see the Temple of the Saladrin itself, which is a relatively huge building. It dwarfs all of the related buildings in comparison to it. It's nowhere near as big as something like the Palace of Waterdeep or Castle Waterdeep or even like the Halls of Justice, right? But it is still, it's a massive building, right? Dwarfs Troll Skull Manor, not even a comparison. And it's this very kind of like Romanesque columns, very grand, clean lines, and very what's the term I'm looking for here? Even in the dead of winter, there is a vibrance about it, right? Like there's not massive gardens all around it or anything like that, but there are streaks of green or like little portions of like things growing here or there all around the temple complex itself. As far as you can see, there's only really one entrance into the temple, and it's these massive kind of like double doors that are just thrown open, right? And when I say massive, I mean like they're like 20 feet tall. They're like a giant could walk into the Temple of the Saladrin style scenario, right? They're these huge marble constructs, and you can actually see, as assuming you're just walking in, on one side is a relatively androgynous but more masculine elven figure, and on the right side there is a relatively androgynous but more feminine figure, elven figure, and they both, if the doors were closed, their hands would be touching. They're kind of like outstretched towards each other, but since the doors are wide open, they're kind of like pointing into the temple instead. Sorry, I'm looking for some music.
Ooh, music chain.
I think, sir. I can find the right thing. I think it's this one.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Okay. I will also grab a drink. How's it going, everybody else?
Man, I'm good.
Fine. Good. Good. Good.
Now's a great opportunity to talk about today's sponsor, Raycon.
Raid Shadow Legends.
I just actually got hit with an ad for Raid Shadow Legends on my phone for a Jontron skin in Raid Shadow Legends.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
I
sad.
really thought you were gonna say they reached out to sponsor, and I was like,
no,
"You take
hell,
that shit.
You take
that shit.
those.
Raid Shadow
Take
I
Legends.
mean, I probably would.
Yeah, you should.
Huh.
What does the Jontron skin look like? Just like a has-been who's anti-vax?
Yep.
Oof. Oof.
Look, I'll just never get over him being anti-vax.
It seems weird, right? Like of all
Wait,
of
who?
like
Jontron.
Jontron.
I don't know who that is.
He was an old school YouTuber who went away for a long time and then eventually came back, but anyway, he's just weirdly right wing and anti-vax and just
Yeah.
like really anti what you would think he would be.
All of it, and all of his like newer content's like really fucking weird. Like
It's very much I've made my money and now I'm gonna just make weird shit.
yeah,
It's-
like his old content was, you know, just like angry video nerd style like video game review, right?
But also very wacky and kind of like, what? You know?
Yeah, it like I guarantee you've seen several different reactions from him as gifs and memes. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
His flex tape thing was really good and really funny.
There's a lot of really funny stuff from his past. Anyways, moving on. We have Matashtai walking into the Temple of the Saladrin. Matashtai, it is, as you're walking through these massive marble double doors, it is relatively intimidating and foreboding. Whether Matashtai chooses to be intimidated by it is a different matter, but it's the overall presence and intention of it is to be relatively intimidating. You walk into these this massive portal, and it's relatively dark, right? Because the overhang of the temple blocks out all of the sunlight, and there are no torches, there's no like light shining into the entryway of the Temple of the Saladrin. So it goes from bright outside to dim, 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 dark very quickly, but you can see what looks to be, it's strange, like what you can see, what feels like 40 or 50 feet beyond you, right, is light, kind of like almost at the end of a tunnel type situation. And so it has this very foreboding, very otherworldly, very like traveling beyond the veil kind of feeling to it as you enter into this temple. And it's quiet. There's no one else really around, right? Like there were some people on the temple grounds, right? But as you're walking in, it feels very isolating, right? It feels like no one else is here. And all you hear is your footsteps on the bare stone underneath you. Until everything changes. Your foot steps not onto stone, but on soft, loamy ground. And you're no longer looking at this light in the distance, but light, sunlight all around you, and your senses are overwhelmed by sound and smells, the smells of spring, the smells of summer, the sound of birds and beasts all around you, and you have stepped into a bigger on the inside kind of place. Like you've stepped into an idyllic you've stepped into an idyllic natural scene of some kind of like late spring, early summer scenario. This beautiful kind of like thicket glade with forest all around you on the outskirts, and before you this like babbling brook running diagonally across this open glade, songbirds twittering around you, small animals kind of like moving through the underbrush, and in the middle of this immense, pretty large glade, this immense open space, right? You can't see the ceiling. If there is a ceiling, there's sunlight above you. It's like the Willowwood all over again, right? And you see standing before you this massive statue of a beautiful elven man, or at least mostly masculine presenting individual, right? And it's painted, right? Like this is no just like straight marble statue. It's painted. He's got golden hair and pale skin, almost kind of like rouge red lips, right? Kind of like these dark like mascara or kind of like lines off of his eyes, really accentuating his face. And he's just standing in this kind of like very regal pose, one hand outstretched, the other one held high, in a sword held high in his hand, and almost as if he's both gesturing but also welcoming you into this place. You lay eyes upon the statue of Corellin Larethian, the creator of the elves, the protector, the patron god of all elves, and you see around him a handful of elven figures kind of like sitting in repose. And you can tell like some of them are together, some of them are separate. There's little benches or little like patches of soft ground for people to just kind of like pause. And you can see there's like these little motes of sunlight kind of like beaming down, warming the spaces for some of these people, and then not for others, right? But your attention is drawn and you see that past Corellin, past the statue of Corellin, there are multiple different pathways that branch off into this thicketed wood that lead elsewhere within the Temple of the Saladrin. And you can tell just from kind of like spatial awareness that just with what you can see, this place is at least 2, 3, 4 times larger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Matt kind of whistles through his teeth and says, "Whew, boy, it's a hell of a statue. Nice little area."
It is, you have been in Faerun for a while now, right? Since you crash landed. This place gives off one of, if not the most welcoming and secure feelings that you have ever felt while being on this planet.
Weird.
Matt would probably take a seat in one of those little sunny spots for a minute.
Sure.
Damn, don't whistle though. You might get a German woman to slap you.
You walk forward down this very kind of like there are stone things here, right? Like there's the statue and there are these kind of like little benches, but there's also kind of like natural versions of this as well, right? Like you can see things like benches or wooden trellises that seem to have grown into the very shapes. And the pathways here are not stone, they're soft earth, but it's very like obviously you can see there's little pieces on the edges where like things are trying to grow into it and someone is having to be like, no, you stay off the path, right? You know, that type of thing. Someone is very careful, very carefully tending this place. Your presence is noted as you kind of like approach and just step into one of these beams of sunlight, and it immediately warms you. All of them elves, right? None of them take offense or are taken aback by your presence. One individual does kind of like his gaze lingers on you over long, but it seems more out of like amusement at your presence rather than anything else. And as you are kind of like here, you kind of maybe get a sense or an understanding of why his amusement exists, because while you feel incredibly welcome and warm and secure, there's a presence, an inhuman presence in the back of your mind. And it is somewhat disconcerting. It would not be a hard stretch to imagine the regular folk of Waterdeep feeling very disconcerted in this place, even if it is incredibly welcoming and warm and inviting, right?
Yeah.
Because there is, I guess I get to say it to you in a not you specific way. It feels as if there is an alien intellect that is present, kind of like in the back of your mind. And it feels disconcerting. Because it's one thing to have like Valena there and know her to be there, right? But this isn't like an intrusive thought necessarily, but there is a presence there that is not an invited guest.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna chill, and just kind of try to get familiar with the place. And
Sure.
I don't want to be that guy coming in and asking for help without
immediately asking like 15 questions. Sure. You can take your time, kind of like resting here for a moment, kind of like trying to get a little comfortable, feeling these emotions.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of curious if being here allows me to be any closer to Buldre by any chance.
You want to try?
Yeah, I'm just kind of. I will. So, Matt is not a cleric. He's not a paladin. He does not have a direct line to his goddess.
Nope.
But he is just trying to search out for that warmth and comfort of the home, which is Buldre's realm.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I would say, roll me a religion check.
Ooh, yeah. So good at those. Oh, yeah. Solid 0.
Oof.
Gotta love those.
Yeah, I mean, you could have rolled a 20 and gotten a 19, but them's the breaks, you know?
How about a 0?
A 0. God damn. All right, then. Well, I think, right, like, you maybe, like, you're here in this moment, and it occurs to you to maybe now would be a scenario, right? Maybe now would be an opportunity, a moment, and you know, you kind of sit there and close your eyes, and you maybe try to like meditate it a little bit, but you just, it's hard to do anything like that. One, when you feel so different than how you normally do, right, with Velena.
Mm-hmm.
But two, with this frankly alien intellect in the back of your mind, and it feels like it's watching you and maybe judging you.
Okay. Well, I just kind of try to shrug it off, you know, shit happens.
Sure.
And I go searching for someone to talk to.
So I will say, you had mentioned this as well, right? Like, you wanting to kind of like look around and maybe see if you can like notice things or ascertain things. You are also able to do that, right, prior to having to get up and talk to people. So some of the things that you would notice about this space is kind of like those pathways that branch off. You do see the comings and goings of various elven individuals passing down these pathways and going in and out of sight through the thicket, basically. And there seem to be signposts. You don't speak Elvish, though, do you?
Mm-mm.
So if that's the case, roll me a perception check.
Okay. I'm pretty good at those. Sometimes.
Yeah, pretty decent. 17. You notice that there are differently dressed, but there are different individuals that are dressed differently from the individuals around you, but that are similarly dressed to each other, that come and go from different locations. And it occurs to you that there may be different places of worship within this location to different elven gods. And this is the Corellin location, and that these other pathways perhaps lead to other elven gods and their particular areas. You do see kind of like off to the side of Corellin, you see a statue off to the side of the glade that Corellin is in. You see a statue of the woman that was on the door, right? And you recognize Corellin was one of the figures, the masculine figure on the door, and there's a feminine figure on the door on the other side of the door, right? And this statue kind of matches that feminine figure, and leads off to the right in a direction.
Are there any plaques or any sort of words anywhere?
There are signposts, but again, they're in Elven.
Fuck.
Yeah. So your
Alright.
choices as far as like direction are guess and wander around or try to talk to someone.
Elvish.
If
I
only
wing
you
it.
asked for some support to come with you that speaks Elvish.
I wing it and I
Okay.
follow the path of the lady.
Follow the path of the lady. Awesome. You head you after a little while here, you get up, you exit. There's some polite nods as you walk past some of the elven figures in the space. No one approaches you. No one is uninviting, right? But no one approaches you. No one goes out of their way to stop you. And you walk across the glade and to this pathway that leads into the thicket, and just kind of like start walking the path. And there are the sounds of other animals, other forested creatures. And you walk for probably about 5 minutes or so until you come to another open glade. And this one's significantly smaller, but it has it has a single statue, much like the Corellan one, in the center of the glade, and a few people around it, right? And then it has 3 different smaller statues on the outskirts of the glade, and there's a pathway for each one of those leading further into the thickets. But you have no like prior knowledge, as far as I'm aware, of like elven deities or anything like that. So
Nope.
you don't have anything to go off of. So
Alright, finally,
again,
at this point, I just kind of look up into the sky and go, "Help!"
That's
I was gonna say you can either wing it and make another perception check, or you can ask for assistance. Matashtai gives up, looks up, asks for help, and immediately there is an individual, an elvish, young elvish man, with kind of like very short cropped blonde hair, in these very long loose robes, doing the kind of like hands in the robe things type scenario, so you can't actually see the hands. And how tall are you?
6'2".
Okay, so he's significantly shorter than you. He's probably clocking in at around like 5'1", 5'2", something like that. But you look down and you look over, and he's just standing next to you, and he says, "Can I help you, sir?"
Oh my god. Yes, please. So, I need some help from someone who knows about dreams.
I would assume your best chance would be to inquire at the Lady of Dreams Rest. I
Okay,
can
that
show
sounds
you
great.
the
Where is
way
that?
to that, if you'll follow me.
Okay, follow me.
And
As we're walking, so what's your name?
my name is Jahir.
Just here. All right. Cool. I'm Matt.
Matt?
Matt.
And
Short for Matthias.
Matt.
You know, normally I'd be Matashtai, but I don't think I can call myself that right now.
why ever not?
Well,
You,
our,
even without your Halaster stuff, you still have a very high passive perception. This random elf is like, I guess I'm being polite and inquiring? Question mark.
yeah. Now Matt's just nervous talking.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, so my name is Matt. but when we acquire our quarry spirit, we get a new name. And that's when I became Matashtai. I don't have my quarry spirit right now, so I don't know that I can still be Matashtai.
He's leading you around the central statue in this glade. And you're kind of like just talking openly, and he looks at you and he responds kind of quietly, right? Like almost in a suggestion of like, okay, let's talk, but let's do so quietly, right? Kind of like way, right?
Yeah.
He says, "Do you still feel like Matashtai?"
Well, I guess, yeah, but I don't have Valena.
A person can complete us, but do they make us who we are?
See why you got this job.
He like his face scrunches up and he's like, "Wait, what?" like I don't work here. I was walking behind you and you said help.
Wait, you don't work here?
No.
Oh, we probably should.
Right this way. And he leads you the rest of the way across the glade. And so like the statue, the massive statue in the center of this glade is of this beautiful like elven figure, right? But it is somewhat distorted. As you get closer to it, you can tell that there's kind of like it's almost as if it's almost as if the person who made it tried to encapsulate the presence of 3 different people in a single statue, because there's portions of the face that are different from the other, but it's not like straight down, it's like at a diagonal. So like the upper right portion of the head is one entity, and then it's across the middle of the face is like another entity, and then it's this side of the face is another entity, and it kind of like goes in this spiraling pattern all across the entirety of it. And it's not difficult, especially with an individual of your perceptive nature, to then look at the other 3 statues on the periphery of this glade and note the details that are similar from these 3 statues to the singular central statue. And the individual, the direction that this individual takes you, that Jahir takes you, is towards this statue of a almost kind of like quintessential elven woman, long, kind of like dark brownish hair, very fine fair features. The only thing to kind of like really set her apart, aside from just being generally beautiful, which is kind of like generic amongst elves, right, is there so many of them are so lovely that's kind of hard to have that be a set feature, right? But comparative to the other 2 statues, this individual has a very kind of like authoritative feel about herself. And she has a bow in her hands, arrow nocked and partially drawn, right? As if she is in motion to bring the bow up and release an arrow. And as you kind of like approach, the eyes of the statue look like they're looking at you, and for a brief moment it's like, she's gonna shoot me, right? Like it almost feels like that presence in the back of your mind. You're like, this statue is most assuredly gonna shoot me, right? And then Jahir, you walk the last couple steps of the way, and then Jahir motions to the path and kind of just says politely to you, If you follow this pathway, it will take you into Our Lady of Dreams Rest, the Lady Sehanin Moonbow. I'm sure someone there will be able to assist you or direct you further in your inquiry.
Thank you, Jahir. And I hold out my hand.
He reaches out a hand and very delicately takes yours.
I shake his hand. Do have hands. And I turn and walk away.
He limp wrists you in the handshake. He absolutely limp wrists you. And as you're like turning to go, you see him kind of like brush his hand off on his robes.
I check my hands. Are they that dirty?
No, it's just maybe not used to being touched or wanting to be touched.
Not used to being touched by an alien.
Okay.
Give you an alien touch.
An alien.
Walk on down the path. And you again, everything seems to be like a 5-minute walk in this place, right? Like you're walking down a nondescript path, birds and beasts twittering in the thickets around you, and then all of a sudden, boom, you are in a less open glade and more kind of like spotted, like loamy forest. And there's these big patches of moonlight radiating down on these like open spots. And there's a fucking like, there's a big ass elk just 10 feet to your left, eating some fucking grass. And there's
That's
like,
cool.
you see like 20 hammocks just kind of like set up around and about, some of them with people sleeping in them, right? And there's just this very kind of like calm, soothing ambience around here, except for the dozen or so individuals that you hear the tensing, like the pulling of bowstrings as you walk into this fucking glade.
They pull them on me?
Yeah.
Shit.
Like,
Okay.
no one is like aimed at you, but you look around like as you realize you've entered in this space, and there are multiple people with arrows knocked and drawing, and just kind of like held at half draw, right?
Okay. Oh, hi. I'm Matt. Not looking to get shot.
A woman, an elven woman in a kind of like it's not like it's a green dress, but it's not like a big flowing green dress. It's kind of like a more kind of like leather bodice down into like a small, almost kind of like hoop skirt, but not really hoop skirt. It's kind of like belled out, but only on the hips. And it's kind of like got this green pattern rolling down the back. It looks like if she needed to move quickly, she could probably move quickly, but she wouldn't be at her best, right? It looks more form over function in this particular case. But she looks lovely, and she looks very calm, and she approaches you, and as she does, she raises a hand, right? None of the archers like release the tension on their bows.
Excellent.
But she approaches you with this hand kind of raised. And I need you to roll me a general charisma check. Not a persuasion or anything like that, just straight charisma with advantage +5.
Okay. Advantage. Charisma. 25.
All right.
Either a 3 or a 20.
So, that was basically
Better than the 0.
Well, yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
right? This woman approaches you, and what she is doing is as she gets close to you, you realize she isn't putting the hand up to tell them to be calm. She's putting the hand up because if the hand goes down in the wrong motion, they draw and fire at you.
It's unfortunate. Out
Um,
there, I didn't catch that many.
yeah, I don't think you can catch that many. I figured it out. Don't shoot at him once per turn. Shoot at him like 17 times per turn. There you go. You realize as she's approaching you, right? Like she is assessing you, right? Like she is looking at you and she's like, is this stranger that has just stepped into our midst dangerous? Should we be concerned? Right? Like, is this a threat? But you can tell as she's kind of like appraising you, it's not, she does not seem concerned. She does not seem worried in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Insight. 19.
You see a look on her face that seems to be such a casual interpretation or a casual assessment of you that it's along the lines of like, if you were a threat, then either you would have already been dealt with on your way to get here, or you would be such a threat that there would be no dealing with you, so what's the point?
Okay.
And she kind of like makes this assessment, and then very casually she just brings her hand down, and then you hear all of the tension from the bows release. And immediately, every single individual who drew a bow or was in process of drawing a bow is no longer looking at you, and they're going about their other business. As if like this singular entity's assessment or judgment of you has been good enough for all of them to be like, all right, whatever, don't fucking care, you know?
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And she approaches you, and she looks at you and says, I am MS Laria. Who are you, and why are you here?
Hold up. I need to write down that name. Was it MS Laria?
Yes.
That's MS Mike Sierra Laria Lima Alpha Romeo.
Not helping.
What? What the fuck? It's MS AMES apostrophe Laria LARIA.
My way was better.
I don't disagree with you. Honestly, it was definitely superior.
Agreed.
I go, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, MS Laria. That does not roll off the tongue, sorry.
There's more of an emphasis in between the first part and the second part. Pause more for a second.
Laria.
There we go. Wonderful.
Right, got it. Well, my name's Matt. And well,
she kind of like gives you a look. Okay.
I know it's kind of boring compared to MS Laria.
You have not met a single Matt in the entirety of Waterdeep.
I am unique.
Sandra taught a girl whose name was I Am Unique. Just as a side.
God damn it.
Did not enjoy her.
And so after I introduce myself, I go, well, I'm kind of hoping you guys might be able to help me, being the Temple of Dreams and whatnot.
We would be happy to offer our assistance or guidance, though I would tell you that this is not a temple of dreams, just a place of rest.
Fair enough. I wasn't sure if this was all one big temple, multiple temples in one.
The Pantheon is technically a temple to the Saladrin, but in this glade, we treat things somewhat differently.
All right. Fair enough. Well, I guess I'll get right to it. I don't know what y'all call it here, but I'm from Eberron. And I'm curious if y'all know how to get to Dalcor.
She gives you that, fucking, the meme, like the blink blink, like what face? You know? Meme? I'm gonna learn the name of that meme one of these days since I use it as a reference so much. But she gives you that face, and she's like, I am at least vaguely familiar with the concept of Everon being a different, and she pronounces it incorrectly, by the way. She says Everon, being a different
That's it.
planet.
Emphasis on the B.
B?
Yeah, Eberron.
Oh. I thought that was a V. Never mind. That's a place? Yes?
Said
The Dal...
planet?
Yeah, that, it's a... Sure. What's a Dalcor?
Alright, this might be a little bit more complicated. It's what we call the Dream Realm.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Sure.
Or,
Fine.
well, I think specifically it's a place in the Dream Realm. It's really kind of wishy-washy when you get to it.
The realm is generally quite, as you say, wishy-washy. It sounds weird coming out of her, like,
Like, Matt actually chuckles a little bit.
like. She looks amused and like interested in you, but also like a little estranged, a little like, who is this dude?
Okay, well, if you know what the Dream Realm is, I'm hoping that y'all might be able to help me and a couple of my friends take a little jaunt over there to try and save a friend of mine.
Over there?
Into there? Around there?
You want to be dreamt into a different planet's dream world.
That's the hope. Yeah.
It did sound stupid when I came up with the idea.
She kind of scratches her head, and she's like, That's not safe.
That sounds about like most things we do.
That's not safe for, how do I put this? If you and some friends wanted to get from here to the dream realm, our dream realm, we would have you and your friends put to sleep, and then a dreamer would guide you through your dreams and then into the dream realm. That dreamer would also be your ticket home.
Okay.
To get you to a different planet stream realm would be that plus more danger, both to you and the dreamer.
I don't want to endanger anyone else. But
for clarity, we are not against the idea of danger. Life is dangerous. Living requires confronting danger. But we would need to be very clear as to what danger and why we were doing it.
well, to explain this, I'm gonna have to kind of go a little bit more into the workings of Eberron.
Do you have a whiteboard?
Do you have a whiteboard? No, didn't we create like a functional whiteboard out of my
You
bag
fucking
full thing?
did. I hate it. I don't want to. I don't want that to be canon. But I mean, technically,
Hell yeah.
Like, get the
technically,
whiteboard out.
it did get established. I don't think you would be able to carry around a whiteboard necessarily, though. But you could carry around like a roll up, like, you know.
I would like to
parchment
get a piece of parchment enchanted that I can ink on it and then erase it like an Etch-a-Sketch.
There you go. Right, like.
And you can get some little pins and a ball of yarn so you can do the...
Yeah, this will be okay. That's my next enchantment. I'm gonna get done. I'm gonna go find someone to do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Anyway, so I start. Well, first I ask, you got a little bit of time?
I was gonna take a nap, so sure.
Do you want to nap and then chat?
I would rather chat and then nap.
Fair enough. All right. So, like I said, I'm from Ezrah. And then I kind of go into the whole spiel of who the Halaster are, the origin of the quarry, their domination of the continent of Riedran and Adar, and then kind of the rebellion, and try to explain to her that I am trying to find my friend.
Wonderful. Roll me a performance check.
Okay.
16. Pretty good. I will say, because of your success on this performance check, I will allow you to roll a persuasion check, just like you normally would when practicing with the masked man. If you succeed, you get a success.
Oh, cool. Okay. Bam.
That's 2 successes! Hell yeah!
Yeah!
Woo!
That might do.
You start this random, like, Emmis walks you over to this little, like, moonbeam kind of, like, fresh moss kind of, like, area and sits down, right? As you start talking, because she's like, oh, this is going to be a while. Come over here, right? And you start talking to her, kind of like giving her this history lesson. And it turns from a few minutes into several minutes into probably close to like 20 minutes to half an hour. And you realize you have, as you're concluding, you have gathered an audience who's just listening to you talk about Eberron and the Halaster and Adar and the Riedran, the Unity, right? Quarry, the what is it? Fucking the Consuming Dark or whatever it is, the name for like the
Devouring Dark.
the Devouring Dark, right? Like the evil quarry entities, right? That kind of like run the things, etc., etc. And you've realized through your storytelling, there have been people that have awoken from naps, kind of like been curious about what's going on, and then walked over and sat down to other people who have been in your audience and kind of like nudged them and been like, hey, what's going on? Oh, okay. What did I miss? Catch me up. Catch me up, bro. Right? But you weave this story. I say story. It's not even really a story. It's like a history lesson, right? Like it's almost if you recall like pictures of kind of like Greek philosophers or teachers like teaching
like
to these exactly, it's like a forum, right? Like just teaching to these people all gathered around them in a circle. But when we say teaching, it doesn't look like that. They're just talking and they're so you go through that, and there's not everyone is just like, oh yeah, this is super interesting. But even the people that aren't like obviously interested in the history part of it are like, yo, this guy's he's pretty cool. He's pretty persuasive. Like he's got like a nice like charismatic approach to him. I dig the accent. Like pretty neat. Like so you go through that.
One guy's like, my cousin talks like that, and he never left the farm.
You finish this story to MS Laria, and she looks at you and she's like, oh, okay, that was a lot. And then they're like, all of these people just disperse. Like it's just this immediate like, oh, he's done talking? Okay, we're gonna bye. Like half of the group is like, yo, you wanna go get some lunch? Like that made me hungry. Let's go get something. And then half of the others go back to sleep. This is a very kind of like it's a weird mix between like hippie land and we're gonna shoot you in the face land. It's very strange.
Angry hippies, got it.
Angry hippies, like very trigger happy hippies.
Good to know
Where that goes. But yeah, MS looks at you and she's like, "Oh, wow! Did you told her about like Valena and everything like that in that, right?"
Yeah. I would have led into that Valena is
That
one of
this
the
is why you're
rebellious
doing
glory.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now she has your motivation and everything like that, and she kind of like ends with this like, okay, yeah, that was a lot more than I thought that was gonna be. And you want to go there where these things are from?
I do.
The things
Like
that
I said, I gotta
like control
get my
people and are trying to conquer your world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What happens when you run into one of them there?
Punch him in the face.
In the dream. You dream punch
Yeah.
them in the face?
It's like punching in
Well-
water.
So, according to what we're told, well, I don't know how it works if we travel there deliberately, but Corey can't hurt someone in the dream. They can only manipulate them. But I don't know how it works if we're magically dreaming there.
Roll a history check for me.
Okay. Three.
You don't know how it works if you're magically dreamed there. Imagine that. Yeah, MS looks at you and is just like, this. Your friend. This absolutely seems like a worthy endeavor. It also seems like an incredibly risky one. Are you sure you're You want to do this?
Sure as anything I ever done.
Alright, well, I can't listen to that whole thing and not be convinced, so I guess I'm in.
Well, great. How we do this?
Great, he says. How do we do this, he says. I need a nap. You need to come back in, like, 2 days.
How convenient.
Why is that convenient?
Oh, I'm just real tired. I died like 2 days ago.
She narrows her eyes at you. Died 2 days ago. Wants to be sent to a different world's dream realm to fight against mind-controlling spirits. Why not? Why not? Why do I have a good feeling about this? That makes no sense.
You're an optimist, just like me.
I'm not.
Fucking
I'm not an
adventurers.
optimist.
You are now.
I have my
No.
god talking to me in the back of my head. And she's saying things like, he seems nice.
She says, "Do it, it'll be funny."
It'll be funny.
Amos looks at you, and she says, all jokes aside, this is going to be incredibly dangerous. You need to know that.
I understand.
It will be dangerous to you. It will be dangerous to anyone that you bring on this journey. And it will be dangerous to me.
Are you the one taking us?
I don't know that anyone else here could do what you need done.
Well, I would like to mitigate the danger to you as much as we can.
I would love to mitigate the danger to all of us as much as we can. Which is why you need to come back in 2 days.
Is
How
there
much money
anything
do
me
you
and my
have on
friends
you?
can do to? I open up my bag of holding and I close my bag.
She just looks at you and she's just like, really?
Give or take.
I forget I live in the
10,000
city.
gold?
Honest. What?
How much you want?
I don't want any of your money. I want you to go buy a diamond worth 1,000 gold.
I can do that.
And bring it with you. And I need you to know that this could fail.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is even with the protections that I plan to afford, if you and your friends are... I don't... Like you've said, we don't know what's going on there, where she is, what we might have to do to free her, or to find her. Are you... Sorry. I had a moment with myself as I realized something. I'm saying this through MS Laria, but also saying it myself. If we're there and it comes down to it, and we have to pull out, what are you going to do?
If it was just me, I wouldn't. But it won't be just me. So I'll have to make decisions to protect all of my friends.
Come back in 2 days. Bring the diamond. And be prepared to make whatever decision you need to.
Thank you.
She gets up. She kind of like reaches down to kind of like give you a hand up.
I take it. Stand up.
Pulls you up. There's a lot of strength in her grip. A surprising amount of strength for her kind of like willowy frame. And she kind of like gestures back towards the path that you brought. You're free to wander around the temple grounds if you'd like, but do you know how to get out? Back the way you came?
I'll try. Worst case, I'll find Jahir. He'll probably help me out.
That poor boy.
You
know
hear Jahir at the back of the room. Fuck!
You know he doesn't work here, right?
You know, he said that. I told him he should probably get a job here because he's real good at it.
We don't really have a lot of, like, jobs here. It's mostly... Anyways. 2 days. Bring the diamond. We'll see what we can
Is there
do.
anything me and my friends can do to help protect ourselves while we're over there?
Pray to whatever gods you pray to.
Not ominous at all. I like it. All right, I'll see you in 2 days.
He just smiles at you.
Turn and I head out.
Roll me a survival check.
Do you have any survival instinct? No? Okay, keep doing what you're doing.
That's 15. The survival check was, do you get lost trying to walk the fuck back out of the temple? And the answer is not really, right? Like, you might get distracted a little here or there because this is a big place and it's got a lot going on, but you do not get lost. You're able to make your way back out, right? Exactly. No Zorro moments here. Like rolls a -1 and manages to somehow find his own way to Dalcor. Right, like he's now in Avernus. Like fucking hell. Oh.
I'm so good.
I must have took a wrong path somewhere. What happened? Anyways, Matashtai, unless there's anything else that you want to do there, you are able to leave the Temple of the Saladrin with a plan in mind. Return in 2 days, with a diamond.
The diamond.
Worth 1,000 gold. And the resolve to make whatever choice that you need to make, or whatever comes next. Anything else that anyone else is doing on this day? Rapid fire, go.
Repeat of last day.
What? Repeat of last day? What?
Is this
No,
a
no,
new
no,
day?
no, not a new day. I'm saying this day is not over. Is there anything that anyone else wanted to do? Matashtai,
Oh,
you haven't done
no.
any talismans
No,
or anything
I'm
like
good.
that. Do you want to do
No,
a talisman?
I'll work on some talismans.
Okay, gotcha. You and I, in the meantime, between now and next week, probably need to actually work on some talismans.
Yeah, I gotta work on some new ones. We had like 2 or 3 that were like tentatively tier
tentative
2s
ones.
that we
Yeah,
need to. Like, there's one that I really want to do, and I already put it on here as that's what I made, but we can change it if we need to.
we'll touch base and we'll try to get some of those solidified. Ezra, we already did tome, and we did other things. Bones, we did bone crafting, and we did other things. Ashes, we did potion crafting, and we did Temple of the Moon things. Anything for anybody else before we end this day? Going once. Going twice. Sold.
End it.
Everyone roll me a Constitution saving throw and a Wisdom saving throw.
In the graveyard, advantage
yawn.
Constitution. In the graveyard, normal wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom and correct. You said wisdom and constitution?
Yes, Wisdom and Constitution.
Ooh, yeah. Failing that wisdom real hard.
Beautiful bean footage. What do we got? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Fantabulous. Okay, that is a blop blop for ashes. That is a blop blop for Bones, who does have advantage on his Constitution saving throws.
Yes, sir.
Fantabulous. That is a blop blop for Matashtai. Which is that. And that is a blop blop for Ezra. Ooh, not happen. Not happen. Cool. Wonderful. You all, I say you all rest for the evening, but technically one of you is not resting. One of you is currently in the city, running through the alleys of the city by moonlight, getting up to God knows what with some other Wardens of the Moon.
So humble, Jeremy, calling himself a god.
In an effort to I don't know what. Like, I'm not calling me a god. Bones.
Hello.
You eyes open, intake of breath, sharp pain in your side, and you feel burning up the side of your torso and then into your chest.
Oh, shit.
You look down at your left hand, and you see the serpent's fang gripped tightly in that hand, and it has slid the blade across the side of your torso.
That's less than ideal.
You hear that kind of like hissing sound, a serpent sound. What do you do?
I say, wake up! Everybody wake up! There's a snake in the house!
Okay.
Wake up just pissed off.
Matashtai, I think, definitely wakes up. Ashes, what is your passive perception?
I think it's 16.
I think Ashes wakes up.
16.
There's no way that Ezra wakes up in his room, in his dome, doesn't hear shit, is curled up having Ezra dreams. But Ashes and Matashtai, you hear Bones screaming, "Wake up! Everybody wake up! There's a snake in the house!"
I bust in.
I break
Ash
his
just
door
throws
off the
open his
hinges.
door, comes like down the
I
stairs
don't
from
have a
the
door. I have those bead things.
Oh,
I
right.
literally rip the beads off the ceiling to
With
get
the
in.
gadget
If they get caught in my horns, I'll like take a few with me.
Matashtai, Ashes, you rush into Bones' chamber.
So sleep in the nude.
Bones, have you moved at all while they're coming to you? Or are you still in the same position?
No, I'm in the same position.
Okay.
You're like, nah, I lay here.
Ashes, Matashtai, you both walk in to see Bones in his hammock, right? With the serpent's fang, dripping blood, and a gash across his side, obviously from the serpent's fang.
It's not obvious. It could be from a snake.
Is there a snake?
I run over and instantly try to stun his hand.
Okay, all right.
Not my hand. Do the forearm. I need my hand.
No, I stunned his whole hand.
Bones, are you contesting?
Guess not.
All right, non-contested. Matasha, you crack into the
Oh,
hand.
uncontested. Yeah.
There is a. You basically get dead-legged in your arm, Bones, and the whole thing just goes limp. And the serpent's fang clatters to the floorboard beside the hammock.
I kick it over to the side of the room for now.
Bro, did you
Scatters
just
across?
Did you just stab yourself?
No, there was a snake.
Bones, what did I tell you about that knife?
That
I
it was
start
awesome?
searching the room for a snake. I've eaten
not what I
snake
said.
before.
That's not what
tried
I
to
said
sniff
at
out a
all.
snake.
Roll
that's the only
me
thing I
a
remember.
perception check.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
Look,
try
there's
it.
been a snake loose in here for 3 nights. Nobody believes me. I got bit.
$25.
25.
I put it. Go ahead.
Ezra, you hear a commotion happening elsewhere in the manor. You are awoken by the shouting that's happening, and the running of individuals in the manor. Ashes.
But I'm safe in my dome, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you're safe and you're done.
Okay.
Perfectly fine. I'm just,
Good.
yeah. Matasha, you cross the room, punch the dagger out of Bones' hand, kick it across the room. Ashes, you begin to thoroughly search the room, expecting to find what?
A
Well,
snake, obviously.
A snake?
Well, you don't find
Or
a snake.
Evidence of a snake. Like
You-
like a little snake nest or like a snake skin
You
or
find the shedded remnants of a pitch black snakeskin.
Proof.
I present it.
Present what?
Oh, son of a bitch.
What's in my hands?
Air?
Never mind.
That dagger's the devil.
Ashes. You feel this kind of like rush through your chest, and then it creeps up the back of your mind, and you feel this kind of like sudden malaise, this ill at ease feeling. And you remember feeling it when you were losing portions of yourself. When you were losing certain capabilities.
What's going on? I feel weird. This is weird. Something's going on. This is Something's
The hell is going on in this house?
something's fucky. I don't like it.
I don't know, man. Friggin' pit vipers keep getting in my room.
All right, everybody
Is it
out.
your room?
Everybody out. Everybody down to the bar. Come on, let's go. Come on.
You bundle everyone up
let's go. We're
outside.
leaving.
Do you go get Ezra too?
Good luck getting Ezra out of his dome, which I don't think he allowed you to be a person to come
I go
in.
I go bonk on the dome a couple times.
No, I actively have no one else except for myself allowed in the dome when
Ooh,
it's in
out
the
of curiosity, can I get within the dome using etherealness?
I don't know. I don't think the dome actually. I think so. I don't think the dome extends to the ethereal realm.
It does, Jeremy. It does.
If it does, it will say it in the spell because there are certain spells that do extend
It
into the
definitely
ethereal
has
realm.
an asterisk and says Matashtai cannot fuck with him.
I
In the
don't
spell.
know that it
Chris
says that.
Perkins knew that there would be a Matt that would decide to be a fucky
I
boy.
just show up in your dome and just bonk you. Ezra would never feel safe again. Just ever.
Definitely not.
Ever. He's already got issues.
Okay, so is everyone allowing themselves to be bundled up downstairs
Yeah.
into the lifted spirits?
Yeah, to the ground.
Okay. You're all bundled up outside in the freezing cold snow, and then into the lifted spirits. What's happening?
I'm assuming everybody is closed up for the night, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is past midnight.
Yeah. Then I see everyone down at the bar. I go behind the bar, pour everyone a beer, put it in front of them, and I say, "To get our shit together, we gotta go save Valen.
Right now?
2 days."
Oh.
Not where I thought this was going. Okay.
Can't have you getting bit by imaginary snakes. Can't have you doing whatever you're doing, Ashes. I don't know.
I don't even
Button it
know.
up. Ezra, you're doing great. I love you. Button it up.
Bones is still
You gotta
just like
save the lemon.
bleeding out of his fucking side, and it burns, Bones. It
I
fucking
slapped
burns.
the shit out of his cut. I
Hey,
slapped the shit out of his cut. I heal him, and I also purge any poison that's in him.
Oh, yeah, that feels better,
So-
Bones. That feels
Feels
better.
more acidy than poisonous.
Feels
I'm gonna
feels
say
better.
that.
Well, that's staying in there then.
Hey, Bones.
Hello.
Hey, Bones! Roll me an insight
Bones.
check on yourself.
Insight check on myself. Okay, what am I hiding from me?
Now roll a deception on yourself.
Please, please roll a
And
deception
take the difference.
on yourself.
Okay, I am gonna roll to deceive myself. Once I find that, I'm unsure it's in the D's.
You have been maybe avoiding this thought, but you don't feel right. You don't feel complete. There,
Yeah, I hadn't felt right since I went through the damn portal a couple times.
there seems to be something missing from you.
Uh-huh.
You're not quite sure what. You're not quite sure why. But there seems to be some sort of like
He's
hole
missing another thing?
somewhere.
How many holes does this cat have? Jesus.
Enough.
Oh god. You sit back down, Otis. You're not involved in this. Don't you get up in response to that. I think that is the third interaction that you have had with this mysterious serpent of the night, Bones.
Uh-huh.
And you realize now, after each time, it feels like something is gone. And there's this momentary concern for you, where you follow this kind of like train of thought of like, well, what if this just keeps happening?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That would be problematic.
What if it never stops happening?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Will you just become a husk of who you once were?
Oh, probably.
Thanks for playing, everyone. That's going to be where we end tonight's session. We'll be back next week with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.